In Wimbledon's tennis paradise, serve should be king, but the return reigns. The All England club, London, Ben Shelton gets a lot of attention for his devastating serve. On Monday, he showed why he's been putting all of his attention onto his returns. His fourth-round match against Lorenzo Sonego took a major turn in his favor in the third-set tiebreak, when Sonego, who kept coming up with 130-mile-per-hour serves all afternoon, fired a 129-miles-per-hour bullet at Shelton's forehand as he tried to keep the set alive. Shelton reared back and cranked a forehand down the line that hit the baseline. Sonego didn't even have time to make a move for it. 11 games later, with Sonego serving to stay in the match, Shelton made sure that didn't happen, with two deep forehand blocks that he would have struggled to get his racket on a year ago. "I want to be an elite returner," Shelton said after the 3-6, 6-1, 7-6-1, 7-5 win put him in his first Wimbledon quarterfinal. "I'm certainly not there yet, but I'm much better than I was when I started out on tour. And just in time, too." A quality serve is indeed a really good thing to have at Wimbledon, but the ability to return those serves is what separates the good from the great. John Isner, another American who had perhaps the most dangerous serve ever, made the semifinals in 2018. But that was the only year he won more than 2 matches at the All England club. On the men's side, even more so than the women's, being a big server means little in tennis these days if a player's return isn't up to standard. A somewhat predictable cast of big serving characters plowed through the early rounds this year, but the one still standing, alongside Shelton, is the one who can give a tutorial on returning on grass to anyone who will listen. Taylor Fritz survived 2 of the biggest servers in the game in the first 2 rounds in Giovanni Mpetshi-Perricard and Gabriel Diallo. It's not uncommon for Fritz to spend most of his off-day practice sessions returning serve, especially during Wimbledon, where hanging back and taking big cuts at the ball is mostly out of the playbook. Don't be afraid to stand in. Stay firm, shorten the backswing and block the ball back, or even chip it.
Get the point going.
On every other surface, a short, slow return might as well be followed by a walk to receive the next ball. On grass, it brings people who want to hang on the baseline forward and gets the biggest servers springing out of their motion and needing to immediately scramble forward. "There's just too much court to cover with these guys," Fritz said after the win over Diallo. "I can use their pace. I don't have to swing at all. I just have to stick my racket out and be firm with it." On just the 3rd point of his opening match against Mpetshi-Perricard, Fritz showcased the effectiveness of this strategy. Iga Swiatek, who has won 5 Grand Slam titles and spent 125 weeks at the top of the rankings, mostly views her opponent's serve as the shortest ball she will see during each point. Why not try to jump all over it? Not at Wimbledon this year. Through her first 4 matches, Swiatek has hit just 4 winners off returns. Yet, she's still winning nearly 40% of the points on her opponent's serve, including 57% of the return points on second serve. She described her more patient approach as making smart decisions, playing shots at 100% without being crazy. Swiatek is harnessing that patience on return while adding some juice to her own serves. She slammed down 118 miles per hour deliveries on average in her 6-2, 6-3 win over Danielle Collins in the 3rd round, mostly jamming the American with body serves to try to take the block return out of the equation. It worked against a player in Collins who is one of the better returns in the game. She won her first 2 matches convincingly and figured to pose a real threat to Swiatek. Her technique on grass is to take a couple of steps back before moving forward as the ball approaches, to put some momentum behind her block. She followed the same strategy against Clara Tauson of Denmark Monday and moved into the quarterfinals at Wimbledon for just the 2nd time in her career. I do think sometimes chipping the returns is more effective than, taking a crack at it, Collins said of her approach. The major downside to cracking a return is that if it does go in, but doesn't win the point outright, the ball will come back too quickly.